In this video, we are going to discuss what fractional exponents are in preparation for doing homework in section 10.1. So what on earth is 25 to the 1/2 notation for? It's not notation for 25 times itself half a time. That would be kind of silly. So to figure this out, I'm going to go ahead and square both sides. Using laws of exponents, I'm going to multiply those two together. That's 25 to the 1/2 times 2 is question mark squared. Oops, question mark squared. 1/2 times 2 is 1. 25 to the 1 is 25. So the thing that I'm asked to define, 25 to the 1/2 power is what? It's the number, that when you square it, we get 25. Let's write that sentence. 25 to the 1/2 power, in fact, let's write it here. Is the number that when you square it, you get 25. Pause the video for a second and think about what that number might be, right? The yellow thing, when we square it, we're getting 25. 25 to the 1 is just 25. All right, so that number, 25 to the 1/2, is 5. Why? Because 5 squared is 25. So what 25 to the 1/2 is notation for is notation for square root. And remember, we usually don't write a little 2 right here, but there is 1. All right? All right. So in general, you know, 25 to the 1/2 is the square root of 25. 25 to the 1/3 is notation for the cube root of 25. In fact, let's use a number that's a perfect cube. 256 to the 1/4 power is notation for the 4th root of 256. Let's just do one more. How about 32 to the 1/5 power? That's notation for the 5th root of 32. Now I gave us numbers that are that we're going to be able to simplify here. We do know the square root of 25 is 5. The cube root of 8, that's asking me what number times itself. 3 times is 8. Well, 2 cubed, 2 times 2 is 4, times 2 is 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. The 4th root of 256 is asking myself what number times itself 4 times is 256. And that's 4. 4 times 4 is 16, and then times another 4 times another 4 is 256. You can do that on your calculator. And the 5th root of 32 is notation for what number times itself 5 times is 32, and 2 times itself 5 times is 32, so this simplifies to 2. Right, so the denominator, what we should key into here, is the denominator is the root that you are taking. Maybe we'll just highlight, I like them both highlighted. All right, so now you should be set up to go ahead and do example 1 in the homework. If we look at it, it's asking me what 4 to the 1/2 power is notation for. Use the definition of rational exponents. Rational just means fraction. To write each of the following with the appropriate root and then simplify. So 4 to the 1/2 power is notation for the square root of 4, and the square root of 4 is 2, and we're happy.